Alright, let's get real. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just the truth. You want to be a high-value woman? Then stop waiting for permission. Stop looking around hoping someone will tell you that you're enough. Because here's the reality. You don't become high value by chasing people, begging for validation, or playing small. You become high value by owning who you are, setting standards and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. So let's break it down. Knowing your worth is the foundation of becoming a high value woman. It's about recognizing your value, refusing to settle for less, and setting a standard for how you want to be treated. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer tolerate relationships, friendships, or situations that drain you. You stop over-explaining yourself to people who have already decided to misunderstand you. You stop chasing people who make you feel like you have to earn their love, respect, or attention. A high-value woman knows that her presence is a privilege, not something to be bargained for. The way you see yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. If you believe you are worthy of love, respect, and success, you will act accordingly. But if you operate from a place of insecurity, constantly seeking validation, you will attract people who take advantage of that. This is why self-respect is non-negotiable. It's not just about saying you deserve better. It's about proving it through your actions. If someone doesn't see your value, that's their loss, not your problem. Walking away from anything that doesn't align with your standards isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. A high-value woman does not lower her standards out of fear of being alone. She would rather wait for what she truly deserves than settle for something that doesn't fulfill her. She understands that loneliness is temporary, but compromising on her worth can have long-term consequences. She doesn't beg for love, she doesn't chase attention, and she certainly doesn't settle for breadcrumbs when she deserves the whole meal. If someone truly values you, they will rise to meet your standards. If they don't, they were never meant for you in the first place. Part of knowing your worth is understanding that your time and energy are valuable. You don't give them away free to people who don't appreciate them. You don't allow yourself to be an option for someone who doesn't prioritize you. You don't exhaust yourself trying to prove your worth to those who refuse to see it. Your energy is sacred, and where you invest it will determine the quality of your life. This is why a high-value woman is selective about who she allows into her space. She surrounds herself with people who uplift, inspire, and respect her, not those who drain, manipulate, or belittle her. Your worth is not defined by your relationship status, the number of people who like you, or the opinions of those who don't see your value. It comes from within. When you truly embody this, you stop settling for situations that don't serve you. You stop making excuses for people who continue to disappoint you. You stop waiting for someone else to validate what you should already know about yourself. When you know your worth, you move differently. You don't tolerate disrespect, you don't seek approval, and you don't settle for less than what aligns with your standards. It's important to remember that setting high standards doesn't mean expecting perfection. It means expecting effort, consistency, and respect. It means being clear about what you want and not being afraid to walk away from anything that falls short. It's about making decisions based on your values, not your fears. A high-value woman understands that rejection is redirection. If something doesn't work out, it's because something better is ahead. She doesn't dwell on what she's lost. She focuses on what she's gaining by refusing to settle. When you know your worth, you also know the importance of self-investment. You prioritize your growth, your health, and your personal development. You don't rely on others to complete you because you are already whole. You build a life you love, with or without a partner. You pursue your goals, develop new skills, and continue evolving. A high-value woman never stops improving because she understands that her worth isn't static. It's something she nurtures through self-respect and continuous growth. Respecting yourself means enforcing your standards, even when it's hard. It means walking away from relationships that don't honor you, even if you have feelings for that person. It means declining opportunities that don't align with your values, even if they seem tempting. It means standing firm in your beliefs, even if it makes you unpopular. A high-value woman doesn't bend to fit into places that weren't meant for her. She doesn't adjust her standards to make others comfortable. She holds her head high and trusts that the right people and opportunities will align with her when she stays true to herself. Your worth is non-negotiable. The moment you realize that, your entire life changes. You stop allowing yourself to be disrespected. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop giving second chances to people who only deserve a first warning. You stop proving yourself to people who were never meant to see your value. Knowing your worth is not just about believing in yourself, it's about proving it every single day. With the choices you make and the standards you uphold. Isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. Too many people sit around waiting to feel ready, hoping for the perfect moment, waiting for the fear to go away before they take action. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come first. Action does. You don't wake up one day suddenly feeling confident. You develop confidence by doing the things that scare you, by taking steps forward even when you feel unprepared, and by proving to yourself that you are capable. Every time you take action, even when you're unsure, you send a message to yourself that you can handle whatever comes next. A high-value woman understands that hesitation and overthinking are the enemies of confidence. She doesn't sit around waiting for the right time because she knows the right time never comes. She acts. She applies for the job even if she's not 100% qualified. She speaks up even when her voice shakes. She puts herself out there even when she feels vulnerable, because she understands that the only way to build confidence is by doing the thing she's afraid of. Action is what silences self-doubt. The more you do something, the more natural it becomes. And the more natural it becomes, the more confident you feel. Fear is a liar, and it will convince you that you're not ready, not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. But the only way to shut fear down is by taking action despite it. A high-value woman does not let fear dictate her choices. She feels the fear, acknowledges it, and moves forward anyway. She understands that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite it. Every time she pushes past her fear, she gains more confidence in her ability to handle difficult situations. The confidence you admire in others didn't come from waiting, it came from action. The successful woman who walks into a room with her head held high didn't always feel that way. She built that confidence through experience, through trial and error, through taking risks and learning along the way. Overthinking kills confidence. The more you sit and analyze, the more reasons you find not to act. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I embarrass myself? A high-value woman doesn't waste time on these thoughts. She understands that failure is part of the process and that embarrassment is just a temporary feeling. She knows that the only way to truly fail is to never try at all. Every mistake is a lesson, every setback is an opportunity to grow, and every challenge is a chance to prove to herself that she is stronger than she thinks. She embraces the discomfort of trying something new because she knows that's where confidence is built. The problem isn't that you lack confidence. It's that you haven't given yourself enough chances to prove what you're capable of. You've been waiting for confidence to come first, when in reality, it follows action. A high-value woman knows this, so she doesn't waste time doubting herself. She takes the first step, knowing that confidence will catch up. She understands that small actions compound over time. The more she speaks up, the easier it becomes. The more she puts herself in challenging situations, the stronger she gets. The more she tries, the more she learns what she is truly capable of. There will always be uncertainty. You will never have all the answers. But if you wait until you feel 100% ready, you will wait forever. A high-value woman doesn't wait, she jumps in. She starts the business before she has everything figured out. She walks into the meeting and speaks her mind, even if her heart is racing. She says yes to opportunities, knowing she'll figure it out along the way. This is how confidence is built, by proving to yourself over and over again that you can handle whatever comes next. Perfectionism is another confidence killer. If you believe you have to be perfect before you start, you'll never begin. A high-value woman knows that growth happens through action, not through waiting to be perfect. She gives herself permission to be a beginner, to learn as she goes, to make mistakes and keep moving forward. She understands that even the most successful people started somewhere, and they only got to where they are by taking action before they felt ready. Confidence is a muscle, and just like any muscle, it grows through use. The more you push yourself, the stronger it becomes. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You need to take action to feel confident. Take action to feel confident. Take action to feel confident. The moment you stop waiting and start doing is the moment everything changes. The first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And once you realize that emotions are powerful, but they should never be the high-value woman. A high-value woman understands that while feelings are real, they are not always facts. She acknowledges them, but she does not allow them to dictate her actions or decisions. Emotional mastery is about recognizing when feelings arise, understanding their source, and choosing a response that aligns with her values rather than reacting impulsively. When you let your emotions control you, you give away your power. When you control your emotions, you take that power back. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, situations will trigger you. But how you respond is what defines you. A high-value woman does not let temporary emotions cause permanent damage. She does not allow anger to make her say things she'll regret. She does not let fear stop her from taking action. She does not let sadness keep her stuck in a situation that no longer serves her. Instead, she acknowledges what she feels, processes it, and moves forward with clarity. She understands that emotions are signals, not instructions. They tell her something about what's going on inside, but they do not control her actions. Reacting impulsively can cost you opportunities, relationships, and peace of mind. When you let emotions dictate your actions, you often make decisions you later regret. A high-value woman does not send angry texts in the heat of the moment. She does not make life-altering decisions based on fleeting feelings. She does not allow one bad day to define her future. Instead, she pauses, she takes a step back. She gives herself time to process before responding. She understands that emotional maturity is about choosing long-term peace over short-term gratification. Self-awareness is key to mastering emotions. You cannot control what you do not understand. A high-value woman takes time to reflect on her triggers. She asks herself why certain things upset her. She recognizes patterns in her emotions and works to address the root causes rather than just the symptoms. She does not run from discomfort, she faces it. She does not suppress her emotions, she manages them. She knows that true strength comes from understanding herself and making conscious choices, not from reacting out of habit or pain. Boundaries are another important part of emotional mastery. When you allow people to violate your boundaries, you invite unnecessary emotional turmoil into your life. A high-value woman sets clear boundaries and enforces them with confidence. She does not let others manipulate her emotions or dictate her happiness. She does not give people the power to control how she feels. She protects her energy by surrounding herself with people who respect her boundaries and by walking away from those who do not. She understands that emotional stability is her responsibility and she takes it seriously. Emotional intelligence is what separates a reactive person from a powerful woman. A high-value woman knows how to manage her emotions in any situation. She remains calm under pressure. She listens before she reacts. She approaches challenges with logic and wisdom rather than letting her feelings take over. She does not allow the opinions or actions of others to dictate her mood. She knows that just because someone tries to provoke her does not mean she has to take the bait. She chooses to rise above negativity rather than engage with it. A high-value woman also understands the importance of emotional resilience. Life will not always go as planned. People will disappoint her, challenges will arise, and setbacks will happen. But she does not crumble under pressure. She does not let failure define her. She does not let heartbreak break her spirit. She feels her emotions, but she does not allow them to keep her stuck. She picks herself up, learns the lesson, and moves forward stronger than before. She understands that setbacks are temporary, but her ability to handle them with grace and strength is what truly defines her. Mastering emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means feeling everything fully, but choosing how to respond. It means not letting momentary feelings dictate long-term decisions. It means learning how to regulate emotions in a way that supports personal growth rather than self-destruction. A high-value woman knows that her emotions are hers to control, and she refuses to let them control her. She operates from a place of self-awareness, strength, and wisdom. She understands that true confidence comes from mastering not just her actions, part of being a high-value woman. They define what you will and will not accept in your life. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, you open the door for people to take advantage of you, drain you, and treat you in ways that do not align with your worth. A high-value woman understands that setting boundaries is not about being difficult or unkind. It is about self-respect. It is about making it clear what is and isn't acceptable and enforcing those standards without apology. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear rejection or conflict. They worry that saying no will make others upset or push people away. But the truth is, people who truly respect and care for you will honor your boundaries. The only ones who will have a problem with them are those who benefited from your lack of them. A high-value woman does not let fear stop her from protecting her peace. She understands that if someone cannot respect her limits, they do not deserve access to her. She refuses to sacrifice her well-being just to keep the peace with people who do not have her best interests at heart. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are about saying yes to yourself. They are a way of prioritizing your needs, values, and happiness. A high-value woman does not feel guilty for protecting her time or energy. She does not overextend herself to please others at the expense of her own well-being. She does not allow guilt to manipulate her into doing things she does not want to do. She knows that setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary. She gives herself permission to put herself first, knowing that she cannot pour from an empty cup. Keeping boundaries is just as important as setting them. Many people set boundaries but fail to enforce them, allowing others to cross lines repeatedly. A high-value woman does not just talk about her boundaries, she stands by them. She does not issue empty threats or allow people to test her limits without consequences. If someone disrespects her boundaries, she does not argue, beg, or explain. She takes action. She knows that allowing one violation opens the door for more. She does not waver, and she does not let anyone convince her that her boundaries are too much. Disrespect is a deal breaker. A high-value woman does not tolerate mistreatment, manipulation, or dishonesty. She does not waste time arguing with people who refuse to respect her. She does not justify or defend her standards to those who try to diminish them. She does not entertain toxic behavior in the hopes that someone will change. If someone repeatedly disrespects her, she walks away without warning, without explanation, and without second chances. She does not chase people who do not value her, and she does not beg for basic respect. She knows that walking away from what does not serve her is an act of self-love. Boundaries are not just about how others treat you, they are also about how you treat yourself. A high-value woman holds herself accountable for upholding her own standards. She does not make excuses for allowing toxic people to remain in her life. She does not stay in relationships that drain her or tolerate friendships that feel one-sided. She does not allow herself to be guilt-tripped into overextending her kindness. She recognizes when something is unhealthy, and she has the courage to remove herself from situations that do not align with her values. Setting and keeping boundaries requires strength. People will test them. Some will try to push past them. Others will guilt-trip you into lowering them. But a high-value woman stands firm. She does not let temporary discomfort convince her to accept long-term mistreatment. She understands that losing people who do not respect her is not a loss, it is a gain. She would rather be alone than surrounded by people who drain her. She would rather have a small circle of genuine connections than a large group of people who take advantage of her kindness. Boundaries create peace. A high-value woman values her peace more than she values pleasing others. She does not entertain unnecessary drama, engage in toxic cycles, or allow negativity to disrupt her energy. She protects her peace fiercely because she knows that her mental and emotional well-being are priceless. She does not waste time on people who thrive on chaos. She does not feel obligated to respond to every message, attend every event, or be available at all times. She understands that setting boundaries is a form of self-care, and she prioritizes her own peace above all else. A high-value woman does not ask for respect, she requires it. She does not allow people to mistreat her and then hope for change. She does not explain or justify why she deserves to be treated well. She shows people how to treat her by the way she treats herself. She understands that boundaries are not about controlling others, but about controlling what she allows in her life. She stands firm in her standards. A high-value woman protects her energy and walks away from anything that does not align within herself. She knows that growth, learning, and self-improvement are not optional but necessary. She does not wait for someone else to give her permission to evolve, nor does she expect external validation to prove her worth. She takes full responsibility for becoming the best version of herself. She knows that every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to strengthen her mindset, to build new skills, and to push herself beyond her comfort zone. She does not settle for mediocrity because she understands that greatness is built through small, consistent actions. Investing in yourself is about prioritizing your personal development. A high-value woman does not make excuses for why she cannot grow. She does not let distractions, self-doubt, or fear hold her back from improving. She seeks knowledge in every way possible, reading, listening to podcasts, attending workshops, and surrounding herself with people who inspire her. She does not waste hours consuming meaningless content that does not add value to her life. She is intentional about what she feeds her mind because she knows that the information she absorbs shapes her perspective, confidence, and future. Growth is uncomfortable, but a high-value woman embraces discomfort. She knows that real change happens outside of her comfort zone. She does not let fear of failure stop her from trying new things. She does not shy away from challenges because she understands that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. She pushes herself to develop new skills, expand her mindset, and refine her habits. She does not let past mistakes define her. Instead, she learns from them and uses those lessons to grow. She believes in lifelong learning and never allows herself to become stagnant. Physical, mental, and emotional health are all part of self-investment. A high-value woman takes care of her body by prioritizing movement, proper nutrition, and rest. She does not neglect her health for the sake of convenience. She understands that taking care of herself physically is a form of self-respect. She prioritizes her mental well-being by managing stress, practicing mindfulness, and setting boundaries to protect her peace. She does not allow toxic relationships, negative self-talk, or unhealthy habits to drain her energy. She recognizes when something is no longer serving her and has the discipline to make changes. Confidence comes from preparation, and a high-value woman prepares herself for success. She does not wait for the perfect opportunity. She creates it by sharpening her skills and knowledge. She invests in her career by continuously learning, networking, and seeking new opportunities for growth. She does not settle for a job that does not challenge or fulfill her. She understands that financial independence is a key part of being a high-value woman, so she takes charge of her finances. She learns about money management, invests wisely, and builds multiple streams of income. She does not rely on someone else to provide for her because she values her independence. Time is one of the most valuable resources, and a high-value woman does not waste it. She is intentional about how she spends her days. She sets goals and works towards them consistently. She does not procrastinate or wait for motivation to take action. She understands that success is built on discipline and consistency, not short bursts of inspiration. She prioritizes self-care, personal growth, and meaningful experiences over mindless distractions. She does not allow negativity, gossip, or drama to take up space in her life. She protects her time because she knows that every minute spent on the wrong things is a minute taken away from her growth. A high-value woman does not compare herself to others because she understands that her journey is unique. She does not waste energy feeling inadequate or envious of someone else's success. Instead, she focuses on her own progress, celebrating every step forward. She embraces the idea that growth is a process and that every setback is an opportunity to learn. She does not strive for perfection, but for continuous improvement. She understands that even small changes, when done consistently, lead to massive transformation over time. Relationships are another area where a high-value woman invests in herself. She does not settle for friendships or romantic relationships that do not support her growth. She surrounds herself with people who challenge her, uplift her, and encourage her to be her best self. She seeks out mentors, coaches, and like-minded individuals who push her to level up. She does not tolerate energy-draining relationships that keep her stuck in the same place. She understands that the people she spends time with influence her mindset, so she chooses her circle wisely. Self-investment is a lifelong commitment. A high-value woman does not wake up one day and decide she has learned enough, grown enough, or improved enough. She continuously pushes herself to become better. She understands that the person she is today is not the person she will be a year from now, and she embraces that evolution. She does not allow comfort, fear, or excuses to keep her from becoming the best version of herself. She takes action every single day, knowing that the effort she does not seek validation from others. Will shape the life she creates. Her worth is not defined by their opinions. She does not rely on compliments, attention, or approval to feel confident in herself. She understands that true self-worth comes from within, not from external sources. She does not live her life trying to meet unrealistic expectations or bending to fit someone else's definition of success, beauty, or worthiness. She knows that no amount of validation from others will ever be enough if she does not first validate herself. Seeking approval is a losing game, because it places your sense of value in the hands of people who may never truly see or appreciate your worth. A high-value woman refuses to give others that kind of power over her. She does not shrink herself to fit into someone else's mold. She does not change who she is to make others more comfortable. She stands firm in her identity, values, and beliefs, even when others disagree or fail to recognize her greatness. She understands that not everyone will like her, and she is completely at peace with that. Living for validation is exhausting because it forces you to constantly chase external approval that is never guaranteed. A high-value woman does not waste energy trying to please people who will never be satisfied. She knows that no matter what she does, there will always be someone who disapproves, judges, or criticizes. Instead of worrying about what others think, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself for her own sake. She sets her own standards and measures her success based on her own progress, not on how others perceive her. Social media has created a culture of constant validation seeking, where people measure their worth by likes, comments, and followers. A high-value woman does not fall into this trap. She does not base her self-esteem on online attention. She understands that curated images and highlight reels do not define real success or happiness. She does not post for approval, nor does she compare her journey to someone else's filtered version of reality. She focuses on real-life achievements, meaningful relationships, and personal growth, instead of seeking temporary validation from strangers on the internet. Rejection does not shake a high-value woman because she knows rejection is not a reflection of her worth. She does not beg for attention, chase people who are indifferent, or lower her standards just to be accepted. She understands that not every opportunity, friendship, or relationship is meant for her, and she does not take it personally. She walks away with her dignity intact, knowing that the right people will recognize her value without her having to prove it. She does not allow one person's opinion to define her entire self-image. Approval seeking often leads to self-betrayal. When you constantly try to please others, you end up neglecting your own needs, desires, and boundaries. A high-value woman refuses to compromise her authenticity for validation. She does not say yes when she means no. She does not pretend to be someone she is not to gain acceptance. She does not tolerate mistreatment just to keep the peace. She stands up for herself, even when it means disappointing others. She knows that staying true to herself is more important than being liked. Confidence is built by trusting yourself, not by relying on external praise. A high-value woman develops self-assurance by keeping the promises she makes to herself. She does not need constant reassurance from others because she trusts her own judgment. She sets goals and follows through on them. She builds a strong sense of self by taking action, learning from mistakes, and proving to herself that she is capable. She does not seek permission to go after what she wants, she simply goes after it. People-pleasing is one of the biggest obstacles to becoming a high-value woman. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of seeking validation and never feeling truly fulfilled. A high-value woman breaks free from this pattern by prioritizing her own happiness. She does not live for the expectations of family, friends, or society. She makes decisions based on what feels right for her, not based on what others think she should do. She does not allow guilt or pressure to dictate her choices. She understands that her life is hers to live, and she refuses to waste it trying to earn approval that does not matter in the long run. Detaching from external validation does not mean ignoring feedback or refusing to grow. A high-value woman is open to constructive criticism, but she does not let it define her. She listens, evaluates, and applies what is useful while discarding what does not serve her. She understands the difference between healthy feedback and unnecessary judgment. She does not let the fear of criticism stop her from taking risks, speaking up, or pursuing her goals. She moves forward with confidence, knowing that she does not need everyone's approval to succeed. The moment a woman stops seeking validation is the moment she becomes truly powerful. She no longer needs to prove anything to anyone. She embraces her strengths, acknowledges her flaws, and loves herself unconditionally. She does not beg for attention or wait for permission to shine. She simply exists as her fullest, most authentic self, knowing that her worth is not up for debate. She lives boldly, freely, and unapologetically, proving that a high-value woman understands that no one is coming within her, not she does not wait for permission, luck, or the perfect circumstances to create the life she wants. She takes full responsibility for her happiness, success, and overall well-being. She does not blame others for her struggles, and she does not play the victim. She owns her choices, her actions, and her outcomes. She knows that while she cannot control everything that happens to her, she can always control how she responds. She refuses to let excuses, fear, or other people's opinions hold her back from becoming the best version of herself. Taking responsibility for your life means recognizing that you are the common denominator in every situation. A high-value woman does not waste time pointing fingers or waiting for someone else to fix her problems. If she is not happy with something, she takes action to change it. If she makes a mistake, she owns it, learns from it, and moves forward. She does not dwell on the past or allow setbacks to define her. She understands that personal accountability is the foundation of growth, and she embraces it fully. Success is not handed to anyone, it is earned. A high-value woman does not expect things to be easy or fair. She does not wait for opportunities to come to her, she creates them. She does not sit around wishing for a better life, she works for it. She takes initiative in her career, finances, health, and personal development. She does not allow laziness, distractions, or temporary discomfort to keep her from pursuing her goals. She shows up for herself every day even when she does not feel like it, because she knows that consistency is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who only talk about them. Happiness is an inside job. A high-value woman does not rely on others to make her happy. She does not depend on a relationship, a job, or material possessions to bring her fulfillment. She understands that happiness is a choice, and she makes that choice daily. She prioritizes self-care, personal growth, and experiences that bring her joy. She does not wait for someone else to give her the love, respect, or validation she craves. She gives it to herself. She understands that true happiness comes from within, and she builds a life that reflects that. A high-value woman does not make excuses. She does not blame her circumstances, her past, or other people for where she is in life. She understands that while challenges are inevitable, how she handles them is her responsibility. She does not dwell on what she cannot change. She focuses on what she can control. She looks for solutions instead of complaining about problems. She takes charge of her own destiny instead of expecting someone else to create the life she desires. Self-discipline is a key part of taking ownership of your life. A high-value woman does not rely on motivation because she knows it is unreliable. Instead, she builds habits that support her success. She does what needs to be done, even when she does not feel like it. She follows through on her commitments, keeps promises to herself, and maintains high standards in everything she does. She does not allow procrastination, fear, or self-doubt to dictate her actions. She knows that self-discipline is what separates those who reach their full potential from those who settle. Financial independence is another area where a high-value woman takes full responsibility. She does not rely on anyone else to provide for her. She educates herself about money, invests in her future, and makes smart financial decisions. She does not spend impulsively or live beyond her means. She understands the importance of financial stability and works to create wealth, not just for herself, but for future generations. She refuses to put herself in a position where she is dependent on someone else for survival. Relationships are also a reflection of personal responsibility. A high-valued woman does not blame others for toxic dynamics or failed relationships. She takes accountability for her role in every interaction. If a relationship is unhealthy, she does not stay in it out of fear or convenience. She walks away. If she wants deeper connections, she puts in the effort to cultivate them. She does not expect others to read her mind or fulfill her emotional needs. She communicates clearly, sets boundaries, and surrounds herself with people who align with her values. She understands that the quality of her relationships is a direct reflection of the standards she upholds. Growth is a lifelong process, and a high-value woman never stops evolving. She does not settle for who she was yesterday. She consistently works on herself, mentally, emotionally, and physically. She seeks knowledge, challenges herself, and steps outside her comfort zone. She does not let failure discourage her. She uses it as fuel to improve. She understands that personal development is not a one-time event, but a lifelong commitment. Owning your life means refusing to be passive. A high-value woman does not let life happen to her. She happens to life. She takes control of her narrative, writes her own story, and refuses to let anything or anyone dictate her future. She understands that everything she wants is within her reach if she is willing to do the work. She does not wait for the right moment, she creates it. She does not settle for less than she deserves. She demands more from herself and the world around her. She takes full responsibility for her happiness, success, and future, knowing that the power to create the life she wants has always been in her hands.